parents have always told me to cherish my youth because it's some of the best times of my life. I don't think they're wrong, but I don't think they're right either. Your 20s are hard. Your 20s are built on late nights, early mornings with headaches from the weekend binge, and laying in your bed for hours, staring at the ceiling fan for much longer than you'd care to admit. Your 20s are built on finding love, breaking hearts, including your own, and finding a way to glue the pieces back together. Your 20s are built on being prideful and eager, but also being insecure, scared, and vulnerable. Your 20s are built on feeling lost, and then finding yourself while driving down a midnight highway because a song came on the radio that saved you. Your 20s are built on discovery, forgiveness, and most of all, just figuring it out. The career will come, friends will stay, the love will find you. Your 20s are built for you. The ebbs and flows, the yeses and nos, the ups and downs, and falling on your face, but never staying on the ground. Your 20s are beautiful, so just relax and enjoy the ride. I'm right next to you. Sincerely, some kid in his 20s, still learning, like you are.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to A&E Podcast. I am Tom Luthner. Unfortunately, Bailey cannot join us today, but I do have an interview with Blade Hall. So, Blade, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, shout yourself out on any social media platform, go right ahead.
What's up, guys? Obviously I'm Blade Hall. Live here down in Orlando, Florida. I wouldn't say a rapper's a good term. I guess just an artist. Got my hands on a lot of stuff with film and music and pretty much your average college kid, to be honest with you. But yeah, all my socials are just Blade Hall. Pretty uncommon name, so you just type in Blade, it should pop up.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm going to put your name, your link down in the description for Instagram, TikTok. I know I follow you on both. So obviously I'm starting this video with an inspirational video that you posted on TikTok about being in your 20s. So tell me a little bit more about that. You know, what inspired you to make that? And is that something that you live by now, being in your 20s?
Right, absolutely. So that video came from a really, really dark place in my life. I was going through a transition stage where a new hometown, my relationships weren't working out, like friendships. My girlfriend and I split up. Pretty dark spot, and I would write down in my notes, things that I would wake up in the morning and remind myself that it's okay to feel a little lost or behind, or just maybe that you don't know what the hell you're doing with your life. And I was listening to some music one night in my truck, and I was like, I got to make a damn video. And it just so happened it was 4th of July weekend. Okay. And I had all of my childhood friends come out, and we went to the lake and shot and got some good footage. And, I feel like as an artist, sometimes it's like one of those things where the art tells itself. You just hit record and the words come out naturally. It was just something I felt like I didn't have to plan, because I was just go out there and I was around good people and good energy. And it made, like I said, the video made itself. And that's probably my favorite video I've ever made.
Yeah, I actually saved it from TikTok. It's a video that I want to get out for you, because I think that everybody that's in their 20s needs to see it at some point. Right. Right. I still go back and watch it. But as you said, you're an artist, so I'm going to get into that a little bit. So I remember during the pandemic in 2020, I had seen your video on TikTok about you working at Publix and making music. Right. And, Ghost was playing the background song. I instantly added to my playlist. So what inspired you to start making music? Like what was the main fact that you went, okay, this is what I want to do right now?
I don't think it was ever a point in my life where I was like, I want to make music. Growing up in high school, I was the kid that would freestyle and bang on the lunch tables. And me and my brother used to make skits, and we used to lip sync. I mean, if you go on my YouTube, one of my first videos is me lip syncing to Chris Brown. Um, yeah. So I don't know. I just always enjoyed music, and we used to start making funny raps and stuff. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I need to start taking it to a different level because I like going to parties or just hanging out with my friends and like
Yeah.
be able to put your phone on the aux cord and play your stuff. I mean, it's
Mhm.
always cool. Um, and I guess with the whole ghost situation, that song wasn't ever supposed to be put out because um, the voicemail in there is really, really personal to me.
Yeah.
Um, and with some liquid courage one night, I was like, I'm just going to post this song. And I didn't really know how to promote it.
Mhm.
So I was like, all right, average Joe. And at the time I was working at Publix and slow day. And I was like, all right, I can take advantage of this. So, just videoed me working, and which I almost got in a lot of trouble
For
for.
posting
Yeah, because
from your
Publix,
job.
yeah, it's they I had all my managers the next day when it blew up come in, and they just like looked at me, and I'm like, here it comes, here it comes. They had to sit me down in the back room. They're like, listen, I mean, you're not doing anything bad in the video. If anything, you're promoting Publix, but you can't be a spokesperson for
Yeah.
Publix. And I was like, okay, I understand that. And I was like, so am I in trouble? Does the video need to be taken down? They were like, no, just don't do it again.
You have to hear me.
I hope nobody takes your pain away, 'cause you deserve to fucking cry today. And all the shit that you done put me through, I wish I never fell in love with you. I don't see what's in your mind. Take me back to simple times when my heart was doing fine. You didn't even need to lie. You didn't even need to lie. It's all the times that you made me feel alone, and I was going through it, but I didn't let you know. You sent another text that I didn't want to see. Wish it wasn't hard for you to love me, yeah.
I was like, all right. And the rest is history. So,
Yeah, it's awesome to see how big you become from that one video too. I remember, checking out your profile, and your following wasn't awesome. And I just looked back at it actually right before the interview, and to see that you've blown up like that is awesome to see, especially with what you're doing on TikTok. So you're not only promoting your own music, like you said, you're doing other things.
right.
And you and I have talked about the other day about me working in sports broadcasting right now, being behind the scenes. So with that being said, you said you'd love to do something like that.
Right.
What would you want your career to be like? Do you want your career to fully be in music? Do you want to, expand other things while still making music?
Right. God, that's such a tough question. That kind of reverts back to the in your 20s video, that kind of message I was trying to put out.
Yeah.
It's hard because I want my hands to be on everything.
Mhm.
And I feel like, I guess some people it can work that way where they're like, oh, this is my career. This is exactly what I want to do. And good for, more power to you. But I feel like my brain is always in different directions. So it's like 1 minute I do want to make music, and 1 minute I don't even want to touch a microphone. And then, I want to go shoot. I want to be an actor. I want to be directing movies, writing. And then the sports broadcasting. And I've been taking some journalism classes at UCF. And I've really gotten into, commentating and just sports journalism in general. And you know what? I might be able to get my foot in the door on something like this. And at the same time, I'm like, dang, I still want to make music, and I still want to be making movies and acting and everything like that. So I don't really know if I can sit right here and tell you exactly what I want to do with my career. I'm lying to you.
Yeah, you'd be lying. Yeah.
Every day I wake up and my mind is changing, but I guess that's life. You figure it out as you go, and I'm confident I'll end up where I want to be doing what I want to do.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's an awesome mindset. With that being said, is there one thing at the top of your bucket list to do? Like one thing that even if it's for a day that you're like, okay, you know what? I would love to do this, and like, cross that off.
Right. I'm just gonna sound really cheesy, but walk the red carpet. I think that'd be a cool moment, or even just happen like a Hollywood star reveal. That'd be pretty badass. So I think that's probably the biggest thing I could think about. Honestly, I've talked to my parents, and I'm real close to actually doing it after I graduate. Renovating a van and just going across the country,
Travel in the country.
traveling. Get, like I said, I'm 25, so I want to get, my traveling done now while I'm
Yeah.
able, I can go out there and make these things happen. And a big message in that 20s video is, I don't want to work, bust my ass off in the 20s, like constantly stressing just to have a little bit of freedom. When I retire, I was like,
Yeah.
why can I not do both? Why can I not bust my ass a little bit, but still have that freedom to travel and explore and make mistakes and
Do what
mess
you
up?
want. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's a big thing. People are scared to like mess up. I was one of those people that was scared to make the wrong decisions and walk the wrong path. But I feel like I kind of embrace it now, where I want to mess up, because it all, like anything I've ever sat down and cried about or stressed about, it's always brought me to some other bend around the road.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for everything. So yeah, I'm real close to getting a van and just
Just go
for a
man.
little bit, man.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. Actually, it's funny because right before this interview, my mom and I were out running some errands, and that's one thing that we talked about is like I was saying I want to travel. I want to do this. I'm happy I'm working now. I'm close to where I want to be in the industry. And I said I want to have the time to just go explore this, go to Hawaii, do things I want to do that I'm not going to have the chance to do when in my 30s, mid 40s,
Right.
But I'm going to go back to the music for a little bit. Was there a certain artist that, inspired you to start making music? Was there one person that you listen to and you're like, all right, or a few artists that you listen to and you're like, all right, I like their style, I'm gonna take from them?
Right. Um, I'm all over the place with music. I mean, everybody roasts me for my playlist because it'll have Frank Sinatra on one end, and then you'll have Little John, some headbanging music. I'll have, Leonard Skinner. Like I'm all over the place. But one artist, I think what got me into taking it a little bit more serious, X.
Yeah.
XXX He was just different, and he was getting, a lot of interesting feedback from the music industry, and I just liked him so much because like this guy's weird, but I really like what he's doing. He'll cry on a song, and then he'll make a song where you want to punch a hole in the door.
He changed up the game a little bit.
Right, and I was like, what? I want to make something like that. So one of my buddies, PJ, and I, we started making, and a lot of that music is never going to be released because it's terrible. But yeah, I would say X. But I mean, him. I love Jeremy Zucker, huge Jeremy Zucker fan. And Morgan Wallen right now has got the game in a headlock. So
100%.
I try to pull from all these different artists, from indie to rap to country to rock. But yeah, I think that the first person that comes to my mind is definitely X.
Yeah, that's fair choice. Again, I loved X before he passed, obviously.
Right.
One of my biggest inspirations in high school, whenever I was warming up for sports, he'd be right in the ear listening, hanging out.
Yeah.
But with that moving on, is there anybody that you would want to collab with? Like, so one person, I know that you and I talked about not collab with a lot of people, but if you had to collab with one person, famous artists reached out to you and they're like, listen, I love your music, I want to make a song with you. Who would you want that to be?
I think there's a few right off the bat. I mean, obviously X before he passed, but I think a song with Jack Harlow would go crazy. The Kid Leroy, definitely. Ian Dior. I kind of like the vibe a lot. Who else?
I feel like I know the exact genre of rap that you'd like to be around. The great,
Right.
they fit your style, and
Right.
again, like you said, Ian Dior, that'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah, I think that'd be a killer song. And one that's not necessarily my type of music that I make, K Camp. K Camp is one of those rappers that I've grown up on, and he is so underrated. He had a couple hit songs, and then now he just makes music, and I feel like, I would never say the word fall off. I just feel like he's just making music for himself now, and I literally bang his stuff every day. I feel like K Camp and I would go crazy on a track.
Yeah, that's a blast from the past. That was like I want to say like mid 2000 or late 2000s, early 2010s. I remember K Camp.
Yep.
So I'm gonna back up a little bit, and I want you to take us through the Blade Hall story. Like, what was it like you don't have to get too personal, obviously,
Right.
but where'd you grow up? What made you choose where you went to school, do this, do that? What'd you do in high school? Things like that.
Um, split household. Parents divorced when I was 3, and basically growing up, it was just between the houses until my father got custody of my brother and I. Um, Average childhood, just a lot of sports. That's all I know. I was always playing baseball, basketball, football. My dad tried to keep us busy with that. And through that sports, me and my brother got really close because, after school, we'd go out and immediately go throw the football or throw the baseball. A lot of broken windows and dents and cars and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. My brother and I did the exact same thing. I get it.
But, it's part of growing up. But
Yeah.
average childhood. And then schooling wise, honestly, because of sports, especially high school. High school, I went to 4 different high schools,
Wow.
just bouncing, transferring back and forth. And some of it was because I didn't have transportation to the high school I wanted to go to. And mid-year, I had to go to where I was actually zoned for. And then others, it was because the football program might have been a little bit better opportunities over here. Just a lot of back and forth between sports, really. And I guess high school was a time for me where thinking about what I wanted to do with my life was never a big thing because I was always, in a good way, pressured to, good grades, football, be the All-American type of guy. And that was probably my first dream is to play in the NFL. And then you get about junior year and you realize you can't bench 250 pounds. And you're like, what? Maybe I need to figure out something else.
Yeah.
But growing up was, I feel like I've had a really, really good childhood, very blessed, great group of friends. I've got some memories that I wouldn't dare to share, but have made me who I am, getting in
Yeah.
trouble, getting out of trouble. Yeah, nothing too crazy. I mean, I feel like I can relate to a lot of people and how they've grown up. I mean, especially being here in Florida with sports and always outside, always at the lake or the river or the beach. So yeah, nothing too crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome though. I mean, I understand. I'm in the same situation growing up. We were in a single parent household, so it was my brother, my mom, and I. So I understand. Like
Right,
you gain inspiration, motivation from coming up like that. Um,
right.
and I have one more question actually, and I know this is gonna go sort of back to the intro video that we're gonna play. But what's one piece of advice that you would give the younger generation?
It's tough because I'm still learning myself. At
From
25.
from what you've learned at least.
I'm trying to think of something prominent to say, but um,
And yeah, again, going back, I know it's hard because the intro
yeah,
video says a
it's
lot about what you
definitely a
want
loaded
everybody to
question,
know.
right? Um, and this is gonna sound so cliche, but I would say you're not here to be anything or do anything. You're literally here just to breathe. That is we're here living life to live life. You're not, I have to be this big doctor, this professional athlete. And I feel like we put, especially this generation, the younger generation, we put so much pressure on ourselves to be, rich and famous and successful, or having that family, that white picket fence house at the age of 25, or getting married and having kids. And that destroys, it eats all of us alive, especially with social media. We're always seeing these younger kids blowing up, and it makes us a little bit insecure. But yeah, I feel like it's just you're going to end up exactly where you need to be. So just live, just breathe, and
Yeah.
things will always fall into place. I'm a big believer on that. Try to keep an optimistic view on things. So yeah, don't force anything. Just you'll be all right.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Yeah, again, you're super inspirational. You have the right mindset, coming from somebody who's trying to do everything they want to do also, that mindset's, how you get there. You don't get there by forcing anything. You gotta take your
Absolutely.
time and, live your
It's
life.
hard, man. It's scary too.
It is 100%. That is actually all the questions I got for you. Do you have any questions for me before I go?
Not anything on the top of my head. I guess I got a question for you. Is Ghost my song, one of my songs that's your favorite, or did you just like?
No, yeah, 100% actually. So my ex-girlfriend and I recently broke up.
Oh,
And
that's right. That's right.
yeah, and I reached out to
Yeah.
you. That's how we got the interview, because I reached out to you. You know, I was listening to that song almost on repeat every time I was in the gym. You know, headphones on, just like
Right.
in the
Right.
zone, listening to that song, and it was on repeat for a while. But
Yeah.
you know, I'm always listening to new stuff. So whenever that song comes on, I'll go to your Apple Music page, just shuffle everything, hear what
Yeah.
I can. But yeah, no, 100%. Again, from when I first heard it, her and I were together, and you know, I always had it on my playlist. And it was just one song that like I listened to, and you know, I didn't listen to the lyrics as much as I did once we had broken up.
Then it hits.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But again, dude, I still listen to the song. Like,
Right.
it's one of my favorite songs on my playlist. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
100%, man.
crazy. It's because and that's probably a big reason why I'm at a stalemate in my own music creating right now. And it's not because I don't want to do music. I feel like I'm in a very static point in my life where I'm not like when I was making all this music, I was upset, going through heartbreak or loss in the family, or just internally battling things. And I feel like I'm in a good place right now, and it's like I really don't have a whole lot of writing material, I guess you could say.
I
So
feel like you could make something happen from that. I was about to ask that. Now I have another question. There we go. Do you think that like you're gonna make like an upbeat, live your life kind of song, like something that you know wants like makes people want to go outside, something like that, like a sort of not even away from rap, more of an indie song?
right. I actually have two indie songs, like indie popish, bedroom pop type stuff, that I actually have showed to my friends and they really enjoy. But I just don't think either of those songs are at a point where I feel comfortable
Yeah.
sharing it.
Mhm.
But absolutely, yeah. The I would say the possibility is very high for me to put something out more happy, upbeat, more something. It's because like when I listen to Ghost now, when I wrote it, I was like, "Oh, this is awesome!" And it hits you right in the
Yeah,
the
yeah.
feel box. And then now I hear it all the time. Um, like I went to my hometown bar this past weekend, and they packed bar. They played Ghost, and everybody's singing it, and I'm over here just like, I don't even like this song anymore. Like, and I can't relate to the lyrics. I mean, I could. I remember where I was at when I did write that song, but now it's just like I'm grateful that I can't relate to the song. Is
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I mean, it's a song again. When I was still with my ex girlfriend, like something that I was still able to listen to, and I, you know, regardless of the lyrics, the beat, everything was like you could make it an upbeat song if you don't listen to the lyrics, and you know
Yeah.
the beat goes crazy. But you know, I think that you have the right mindset to make a song that would be awesome to play, like a summer kind of song. And I think that somebody I would recommend listening to if you don't know who he is, Arden Jones. Uh,
Yo, yes.
Love Arden Jones. Like he's easily top 5 favorite artist out right now, and I feel like you can make a sick song like that.
Oh yeah. I might have to slide in his DMs. Get
Yeah,
a little.
yeah. I mean, listen, if you have the opportunity to talk to him, I definitely would. You know, make something happen from that.
Make that happen. If we speak this into existence, you guys heard it here first, right here.
There you go. All right, man. That's all I got for you. Thank you so much for joining us, dude. It's been fucking awesome talking to you and actually getting the chance to do this interview. I know we've had to hold it off for a little while,
Right, right.
but it's
Hey,
been
you made
awesome
it
to do
happen.
this, man.
But I'm very appreciative. Thank you for reaching out. Thank you for giving me a chance to listen to my music and giving me an opportunity to sit here and talk to you and your fan base and your audience. And yeah, man, I'm just very, very appreciative. And hopefully we can start doing more stuff like this.
100%, brother. Again, I will have all your stuff down low in the description as soon as this comes out. And as soon as it's out, I'll send it over to you and, you know, edit it up, get everything done.
Listen, I'm excited to see it.
Awesome, brother. Thank you.